You're probably scrolling through a dozen drone options, wondering if any of them will actually earn you that pro-grade footage without turning into a money-sucking hobby. You don't want to spend a six-figure budget on a piece of kit that feels more like a toy, and you definitely don't want to end up with a platform that trips over a tree branch on the first shoot. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's unpack whether the DJI Inspire 2 lives up to the hype or if you'd be better off looking elsewhere. First off, the Inspire 2 isn't a camera drone you pick up off the shelf and point at a sunset. It's a modular system built around a robust airframe and a separate Zen Muse gimbal camera. That design choice gives you the freedom to mount a Zen Muse X5S or X7, both of which can push 5.2K raw footage. In real-world terms, that means you can capture cinematic detail that survives heavy post-production grading. But it also means you have to budget for the camera and the extra batteries, which can push the total spend well into the high four-figure range. When I first unboxed the Inspire 2, the first thing I noticed was how quickly you can get from case to flight. DJI's Quick Start app walks you through firmware checks, compass calibrations, and motor checks in a matter of minutes. The efficient workflow claim isn't just marketing fluff, the remote controller pairs automatically, and the built-in OcuSync 2.0 link gives you a crystal-clear 1080p video feed up to 7 kilometers away provided you're in an open area with minimal interference. For a professional who needs to scout locations and verify framing on the fly, that immediacy saves precious production time. Obstacle avoidance is another area where the Inspire 2 shines, but it's worth understanding its limits. The drone is equipped with forward-facing and downward-facing sensors that create a 30-meter detection envelope. In practice, that lets you confidently fly through forest clearings or tight urban canyons, knowing the system will pause or reroute if it sees a branch or a power line. However, the sensors don't cover the rear or the very top of the airframe, so you still need to keep an eye on the horizon during aggressive maneuvers. The Sense and Avoid feature cuts down on accidental crashes, but it's not a substitute for a trained pilot's situational awareness. If you're after subject tracking, Spotlight Pro is the mode to try. You lock onto a performer, and the drone keeps the camera centered while you steer around them. I tested it at a wedding ceremony where the bride was moving between arches. The system kept her perfectly framed, even as the wind nudged the drone slightly off course. The key advantage here is the blend of automated tracking with manual control. If the algorithm drifts, you can instantly retake the lock. The downside? Spotlight Pro can be a bit jittery when the subject makes sudden direction changes, so you'll need to smooth it out in post or use a higher-end gimbal like the X7 for added stability. Intelligent flight modes add another layer of production value. Waypoint missions let you pre-program a cinematic path, which is a godsend for repetitive shots like a building flyby or a landscape sweep. Point-off interest mode circles a static object while keeping it centered, useful for product showcases or architectural highlights. The Smart Return to Home function also integrates with the obstacle sensors, guiding the drone back along a safe corridor if the battery dips below a preset threshold. Those features reduce the need for a second operator on set, but they come with a learning curve. Setting up precise waypoints can take a few trial runs before you nail the timing. Operating temperature is a practical consideration that often gets overlooked in marketing copy. The Inspire 2 is rated from 0°C up to 40°C, which covers most temperate climate shoots. I've taken it out for a sunrise shoot in a chilly alpine valley at around 2°C, and the motors behaved consistently without any lag in response. However, if you're planning to shoot in extreme heat, think desert locations exceeding 35°C, you'll notice a slight reduction in hover time as the battery efficiency drops. So, plan your flight windows accordingly and carry spare batteries if you expect long daylight periods. Now, who should actually consider buying the Inspire 2? If you're a freelance cinematographer, a small production house, or a film school that needs a reliable platform capable of delivering raw 5.2K footage, this drone checks the